Senate will come to order. All those not having privileges of the floor will please vacate the chamber. Those in the gallery and those on the floor will please rise as we're led in prayer by the Senator from Wood. Please remain standing after the prayer as the Senator from Jefferson leads us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Senator from Wood.
Father, Lord, we just come to you again today, Father, and rely upon you and trust in you, Lord, as we finish up this very important process, Lord. And God, give us humble hearts, Father, and just help us to coalesce behind our love for our state. And we pray for our leadership on both sides, Lord, and pray for every member, God. And some folks have stuff going on and different problems that are colliding with what's going on here, God. I just pray for every single senator and staff member during these days. We ask you to be with us today one more day. We need you in Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Senator from Jefferson.
Will the members and our guests in the gallery please join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reading of the Journal.
West Virginia Legislature Senate Journal, Monday, October 18th, 2021. The Senate met at 11:03 a.m. Senator Blair, Mr. President, in the chair.
Senator from Lewis requests unanimous consent that further reading of the journal is dispensed with and the journal be approved. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Further reading of the journal is dispensed with and the journal is approved. Introduction of guest. Senator from Raleigh.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have in the President's Gallery a delegation from the country of Kenya, East Africa. We have Deputy Governor of Vihiga, His Excellency Dr. Patrick Saisi, and the delegation here from Kenya and His Excellency. We're glad to have to host them today, and they are government leaders there, and they are involved in trying to make their country a better place for the people with things like water and resources that they have. And so they are here with us for a little bit today, and we've taken them around West Virginia to be able to tour and see what we do with tourism, because in Kenya they have a lot of opportunities there for that, and also to see how we operate our government, because His Excellency is the counterpart to our Senate President in his country, in his state. And so we are certainly delighted to have them here. And if the Senate would give them a warm welcome, I would appreciate that. And the whole delegation stand.
Further introductions. Communications from the House.
There are none.
Communications from the Executive.
There are none.
Reports from standing committees.
There are none.
Reports from select committees.
There are none.
Introduction of bills.
There are none.
Resolutions.
There are none.
Motions. Petitions.
There are none.
Unfinished business.
There is none.
Senior Senator from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Subject to announcements, I move the Senate stand in recess until 1:30 p.m.
Are there announcements? If not, question for the Senate stand in recess until 1:30 p.m. today. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. I declare the Senate in recess till 1:30 p.m. today. Senate will come to order. Those not having privileges of the floor will please vacate the chamber. Bills on third reading.
Engrossed Senate Bill 3034, dividing state into senatorial districts.
Senator from Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request unanimous consent to offer an amendment on third reading.
Is there objection? Chair hears none. Does the clerk have the amendment?
Yes, sir. Senators Trump, Takubo, Tarr, Carnes, and Rucker move to amend the bill by striking out everything after the enacting clause.
Senator from Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request unanimous consent to explain the amendment in lieu of having it read.
Is there objection? Chair hears none. Senator from Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. President. The amendment being offered for consideration now would affect a redistricting, reapportionment of the West Virginia Senate for the coming 10 years. The plan proposed by the amendment before the body would divide the state into 17 senatorial districts. And I can say a few things generally about this before we get into specifics. First, this is very similar. What I would characterize it as a synthesis of the two maps that we had up on the floor considering yesterday. Members will remember we had a base floor amendment, a main amendment yesterday, and an amendment to the amendment. And we discussed both of them, the differences and similarities between the two at some length before we paused our action. This amendment tries to reconcile and harmonize some of the issues that were points of contention, and I think it does a good job of that. I will say at the outset, all 17 districts drawn upon this map, Mr. President, are within the population deviations that confer a presumption of constitutionality on the one person, one vote principles mandated by Reynolds v. Sims and Baker v. Carr. All the districts are within the tolerance that gives a presumption of constitutionality. The map contains districts that are made solely of contiguous territory. That's a requirement of our Constitution, and this map fulfills that constitutional requirement. So you have equal population, contiguous territory. The compactness, I'll come back to in a moment. We've talked a lot on the floor about how our Constitution requires that districts, Senate districts, be made up of whole counties, which is impossible to do. Literally, it is impossible if you're going to adhere to the constitutional population deviation requirements, okay? There are certain counties that absolutely have to be divided when you make a map of West Virginia that will conform and meet the population deviation requirements. This map divides 11 counties, 11, and that's fewer, two fewer than in the current plan. When I say current plan, I'm talking about the districts that were enacted in 2011, which have been in place for the last 10 years. Those districts, as they've existed for the last 10 years, that plan divides 13 counties. This is a step in the right direction. It divides only 11. Furthermore, the map for the districts the current districts that have been in place for the last 11 years divides 2 of our 55 counties 3 ways. Under the current map, the 2011 map, 2 of our 55 counties are split among 3 different senatorial districts. This map reduces that to 1. There's only 1 county that is so split in this configuration. Now, I said I would talk about compactness. We're making good progress there, Mr. President. The Reocc Score for compactness for the plan that was enacted 10 years ago is 0.35. This plan has a significantly higher Reocc score. It's 20% higher. It's a 0.42. And we talked about this on the floor. Compactness is hard to achieve in West Virginia just because of the way the state is shaped. You know, the two panhandles are anything but compact. It makes it impossible, really, to draw a district that's completely compact in the northern panhandle, the eastern panhandle, and it's not a problem that we can solve, Mr. President. It is because one is confined by the boundaries of Ohio and Pennsylvania, and the other is confined by the boundaries of Maryland and Virginia. Now, I tried to do something about that last year, Mr. President, and change the boundary of Virginia, but that's a discussion for another day. So our shape, the shape of our state is the shape of our state. So, but that said, the amendment pending right now will achieve districts that on the whole that have a mean compactness score under this Reocc test that is higher than what we've had for the last 10 years. And for those who don't know or don't remember, here's what the Reocc score is. You take a district and you draw a straight line between the two farthest points from each other in the district. And that straight line is the diameter of a circle that you make that circumscribes the district. And the Reocc score, the Reocc number, is the ratio of the area of the district you've drawn to the area of that entire circle that circumscribes it. So a Reocc score of 1 would be perfect. It would mean you've made a perfect circle and you've made a district that is within it a perfect circle. And because a circle is the most compact geometric figure that one can make or draw. So Reocc scores range between 0 or just above 0 and 1. And we've made a significant step forward with the amendment before us for consideration. Let me just go through them and I'll describe the districts starting with the first. The first district would be made up of Hancock, Brooke, and Ohio counties and part of Marshall. And that's true with every map we've drawn. It's true with every map that we can draw if we're to stay within population deviations that give us a presumption of constitutionality. Why? Marshall County absolutely has to be divided. If you don't, if you're unwilling to do that, you cannot draw the districts that meet the one person, one vote rule. The sum of the population of Hancock, Brooke, and Ohio counties is not enough to get within that tolerance to make a district. If you added all of Marshall County to those three, you're over. So Marshall County is one of the counties that have to be divided. Berkeley County and Kanawha County are other counties that absolutely have to be divided because they're too large. They're outside of that, you know, we talked about it yesterday. You divide 1.793 million people by 17 districts, it comes out to a little over 105,000 people. Berkeley County has 122,000, Kanawha County is 180. You can't squeeze those whole counties into a district. Just the arithmetic requires that they be divided. Marshall has to be divided because of where it's located in relation to the other counties. You're confined by Ohio and Pennsylvania in that first district. So let's go to the second district. The second district includes the remainder of Marshall County, and what we're doing there is preserving, Mr. President, communities of interest along the Ohio River. You see all those river towns that are, communities of interest. They're preserved together within that part of the district. It contains the whole of Wetzel County, the whole of Tyler County, the whole of Doddridge County, and parts of Marion and Monongalia County. This is, Mr. President, very similar to the current configuration of the district. Let's go to the third. The 3rd District is made up of 4 whole counties. They are Wood, Pleasance, and Wirt, and Ritchie. Now, the counties of Wirt, Pleasance, and Wood are all in the 3rd District now. They remain so. It requires additional population to make the 3rd, to bring the 3rd within the population deviation requirements of the federal Constitution, and thus Ritchie County brings it almost perfectly to the number needed. And as you can see, it's very compact. It's a compact district. I don't know if we have an individual district score for the compactness of that. Which one is it? Oh yeah, 0.59. So that is a high Reocc score. And I was looking at the compactness score. What threw me, I was looking at the compactness score for the 3rd District from 10 years ago, and it's half of that. It was a 0.28. And the reason is, members will remember, to fill out population for that district 10 years ago, it dropped down and took one side of Roane County, and that was not compact. This has a much higher compactness score, from 0.28 10 years ago to 0.59, more than double. Okay, 4th District. 4th District is very similar to the current configuration. It includes the portion of Putnam County that is on the west or south side of the river, and that's exactly the same now. It includes some territory to the district from Campbell County, all of Mason County, and a portion of Jackson County. Okay, let's go to the 5th District. The 5th District is currently, in the plan 10 years ago, is Campbell County and a very small part of Wayne County. This expands the Wayne County part. And so the way this district is made up is it's about 74,000 people from Campbell County. Let me get you the exact number. And the balance from Wayne County, the members of the Senate will remember that yesterday, one of the plans we discussed had Lincoln County going into the 5th District. This does not do that. So the 5th District is made up of 75,706 people from Campbell County, essentially all of Huntington and its immediate suburbs. And from Wayne County, the number is 30,629. So it preserves the concept of the district as it exists now in this sense. Under our Constitution, a district that is made up of more than one county, the Constitution says that both senators may not be chosen from the same county within the district. And so this district ensures that there will be one senator from Campbell County and one senator from Wayne County elected within the district, because there are 2 counties in it and only 2. And again, a contrast with what we looked at yesterday, one of the maps we looked at yesterday, there's no part of Lincoln County that forms part of the 5th. Could we go to the 6th, please? So the 6th district starts at Mercer County and works westward and northward. It includes the whole of Mercer County. Mercer County is undivided in this map, as is McDowell, as is Mingo, and then the remainder of Wayne County. Now, you will remember yesterday we talked about this. The plan that was adopted 10 years ago divides McDowell County, some of it going north to the district that includes Raleigh and Wyoming. It divides Mingo County, with some of that going to the 7th with Logan, Lincoln, and Boone. And it divides Wayne County actually 3 ways. Part of it with Campbell, part of it with Logan, Lincoln, and Boone. and part of it with the 6th. This 6th district is, believe it or not, much more compact than the plan that was adopted 10 years ago. Now, it's still not a high compaction score, but it goes from 0.13 to 0.16. And that is because it's a little shorter than it was end to end, and it's a little thicker because we've restored McDowell and Mingo whole counties. Those counties are now not divided at all. They are wholly within that district. Let's go to the 7th if we could. All right, so we had conversation about the 7th district yesterday, and I talked ad nauseum probably about the decline in population of this Coalfields district, the 7th. But historically, the core of this district has been Logan, Lincoln, and Boone. This preserves those 3 counties as a district. And as we discussed yesterday, over the years, in order to make sure that the population of that district met the deviation requirements, it was reaching out into Wayne County and then ultimately into Mingo County and pulling parts of those counties in. As I said yesterday, the rubber band snaps back now. So the Mingo County is whole. There's no part of Wayne County that's dedicated to this district. This district now reaches north and takes people from Kanawha County. If you look right above Boone and Allen Creek there in Lincoln County, you see a portion of Kanawha County, which now will be part of the 7th district. Importantly, in my opinion, it's done in a way that does not disturb Kanawha County's ability to have the 17th district be wholly within Kanawha County. So that was one of the features we discussed on the 2 maps yesterday. This plan provides for Kanawha County 17th district. We'll get to it in a little bit, but it lies wholly within the boundaries of Kanawha County. So on compaction, the compaction score for the 7th district is substantially higher than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, that district, the 7th, had a compaction score of 0.51 on the Reocc test. This raises that to 0.63. And it's sort of an eyeball test. If you look at it, Mr. President, you can see it's a compact configuration of a district. Let's go to the 8th, please. The 8th senatorial district starts with essentially what is the 8th district now. And so remember we discussed yesterday, 10 years ago is when we had to end, I wasn't here, but when the legislature had to end the idea of having 2 superimposed districts that were wholly Kanawha County. And the 17th became wholly within Kanawha County, and then the 8th was formed with the remainder of Kanawha County. This plan continues that concept. And so at the bottom on the left there, you see what is essentially Charleston and suburbs to the west and north, but it includes the part of the Kanawha County where we are right now. And it includes then, if you go north, the part of Putnam County that is on the north or east side of the river. And that is basically as it's configured now. The population loss that's occurred here over the last 10 years makes that insufficient to reach that threshold number for the presumption of constitutionality on the 1 person, 1 vote requirement. So it adds additional territory. You can see it adds part of Jackson County, all of Roane County, and all of Clay County form that district that sort of envelops, it starts in Charleston and envelops the rest, the northern border of Kanawha County. So let's go to the 9th. The 9th district is made up of Raleigh and Wyoming counties, and that's the same core of that district as exists today. It's 10 years ago, it was Raleigh, Wyoming, and a little bit of McDowell. So now, as I mentioned before, McDowell snaps back its whole, it's not divided, but Raleigh and Wyoming together have insufficient population to make a district. And so what this does for the 9th district, you see in that top right corner, that's the corner of Fayette County. And if you, I don't know if you can read it, I can barely read it, but it's Mount Hope, Pax, Hilltop, Oak Hill is added, that part of Fayette County is added to Raleigh and Wyoming to form the 9th district. We have population splits on that. 9th. So just for information, probably I need the 8th and the 9th. Okay, so for the 9th senatorial district, the population splits are, there's 14,686 citizens, persons from Fayette County added to that to round out the necessary population for a district with the populations of the whole of Raleigh and Wyoming counties. For the 8th, I didn't give those for the 8th. For the 8th senatorial district, it's 50, in Kanawha County part, if you want to flip back to the previous one, there you go. For the Kanawha County part, 54,958 people from Kanawha County, basically 55,000 people. That's Charleston, the north side of the river here. The northern part of Putnam County that's dedicated to the 8th is 16,204. And as I mentioned before, that's basically the current district there. And that's probably, 3/4 almost of this district. The population of Roane County is, this is just showing the split list. Where's the whole population of Roane? To my memory, population of Roane County is in the vicinity of 14,000. Clay County, 7 or 8,000 people. Okay, let's go to the 10th. 10th district, the core of the current district are the counties of Summers, Monroe, Greenbrier, and Fayette. As it's configured now, it's whole counties. Those 4 counties make the district. But as sadly as has been the case throughout the last 10 years, that's an area of the state where we've lost population. And so to fill out the population for this district, and let me back up and say, we're minus, I think it was 16,000 people from Fayette that were utilized to fill out the 9th district, Raleigh and Wyoming. So the remainder of Fayette, additional population is required. The addition comes from Nicholas County, which is on the top of the map there. And so that is the district. You can see it looks, it's very compact in its appearance. Its compaction score is 0.58, which is a higher compaction score than the district as it's currently configured, actually, which is 0.51. Okay, let's go to the 11th, please. In the 11th, it's a big district. The 11th is configured of whole counties completely. Starting at the top, Barber, Upshur, Braxton and Webster, Randolph, Pendleton, and Pocahontas. No counties divided within that district. These counties, some of them, Braxton, Webster, Pocahontas there in particular, Pendleton, are counties with very small populations, Mr. President, so they're, You know, it's big. It's definitely a big district geographically, but it must be, because that's just the result, the consequence of having counties that are large geographically with not great numbers of people. Pendleton, a county which is, you know, just spectacular and beautiful, as is Pocahontas. They're very large counties in terms of geographic territory, but not so in terms of population. But it is within the population deviations, which give to us a presumption of constitutionality. And, okay, let's go to the 12th. The 12th, Harrison County, undivided. Lewis County, undivided. Gilmer County, undivided. Calhoun County, undivided. Those 4 counties in total do not give us enough population to meet the threshold for presumption of constitutionality. So this district achieves that with the addition of a portion of Taylor County. Let's go to the 13th. 13th district is similar to that which we have now. It is essentially a Morgantown, Fairmont district. And it has, it's within population deviation, but it has the eastern parts of Monongalia and Marion counties, and it's essentially Morgantown and Fairmont. With the Morgantown district, we include the surrounding boroughs of Granville, Star City, Westover is in, and around in the Marion County part, it's Fairmont, Reesville, Pleasant Valley, Monongah, Whitehall, all those municipalities wholly within the district, undivided. It preserves the core of the district that exists now. And let's go to number 14. All right, so we get to number 14, and we have to the east of Preston County, Garrett County, Maryland, which, while we might like to add it to a district, we cannot. And it creates, you know, some challenges in terms of compactness and configuration, but starting on the west side, it includes the remainder, the other part of Taylor County, the whole counties of Preston, Tucker, Grant, Hardy, and Mineral. Mineral County in the 2011 plan is divided, as is Grant County in the 2000 plan. Those counties are no longer divided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole counties plus the portion of Taylor. All right, let's go to the 15th, please. The 15th is all of Hampshire County, all of Morgan County, and part of Berkeley County. And, you know, when we started doing this, I was worried that Hampshire County was going to have to be divided. There are lots of maps that have been drawn, Mr. President, that divide Hampshire County. This does not. It leaves Hampshire County whole, Morgan County's whole, and as I mentioned earlier, Berkeley County has to be divided because it has so many people. This contains part of Berkeley County. 16th district, please, is all of Jefferson County, that's on the east, and Berkeley, the remainder of Berkeley County, which is to the west. And so that shows the division of Berkeley County, half of it in the 15th, half of it in the 16th. I say half. It's not exactly half. Part in the 15th, part in the 16th. The population of Jefferson County is 57,000, so this district contains probably 53,000 or so from Berkeley County, and the rest of Berkeley County is in the 15th district. Okay, 17th district, please. This is something we talked about at length yesterday on the floor. In the 2011 plan, the 17th district was wholly contained within Kanawha County. This continues and preserves that. So it's a big portion of Kanawha County. You can see on the west side the part that is more or less dedicated to the 8th district. That's the 8th that joins it there. Again, same as 10 years ago, Mr. President, following the Kanawha River. That's so on the south side of the river, you have South Charleston and those areas which are currently in the 17th, they remain so. Mr. President, I think this plan, the plan before us, meets the constitutional requirements that are imposed upon us. I dare say, I'm quite sure that there isn't a single person in this room who would say, this is my perfect plan. This is my dream plan. This is the product of conversations and compromises and hard work over a long period of time by a great number of people. So, but I think this proposed amendment addresses and resolves some of the major objections that we were hearing yesterday and well before yesterday about various maps and plans that have been proposed. And be happy to try to answer questions, Mr. President. Otherwise, I urge the adoption of this amendment.
Is there further discussion? Junior Senator from the 8th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in opposition to this amendment. My objection is not a reflection of the good work that the Senator from Morgan and Chairman of the Redistricting Committee has committed for the last several weeks and months. It's been a long process. I object because I believe this amendment is a disservice to the people of Kanawha County. It is the one county that is split 3 ways, whereas according to the original bill, Trump 8, that did pass committee, Kanawha County was split in 2 ways. So I believe that, again, this amendment is a disservice to the people of Kanawha County and that it is split 3 ways, and I object on that basis. 2 more things that I want to say just real quick. Going back to the work of the committee, I want to take a moment and just thank the staff, Liz Schinderloors, Adair Sankoff, Brittany Carriwick, and Wes Tony on our end that have put in countless hours, stayed many a nights to try to get this final product to the floor. The people of West Virginia, I'm going to speak for the people of West Virginia and thank you for your work. Otherwise, and I think I'm going to speak for the Senator of the 8th, we look forward to representing the good people of Jackson, Roane, and Clay. Thank you.
Is there further discussion? If not, question before the Senate is adoption of the amendment offered by the Senator from Morgan. All those in favor will say aye. Roll call's been demanded. The demand sustained. The demand is sustained. All those in favor of the gentleman's amendment from Morgan will vote yea. Those opposed will vote nay. The clerk shall prepare the machine. Has every member voted? Has every member voted? If so, the clerk close the machine. Ascertain the results. On this question, 31 yeas, 2 nays, 1 absent, not voting. More than a majority of those present and voting having voted in the affirmative, I declare the amendment passed or adopted. Are there further amendments to the bill?
No, sir.
The bill will be re-engrossed, and the clerk will read the bill again a 3rd time.
Engrossed Senate Bill 3034, dividing state into senatorial districts. 3rd reading of the bill.
Question is on passage of the bill. Senator from Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be brief. I would be remiss if I didn't join my friend and colleague from the 8th in expressing my appreciation and the appreciation of the whole body, I think, to the staff who worked so hard for so long in crafting this, Liz, Adair, Bev, Brittany, Wes, and I'm sure I'm leaving out people. I think this is a good plan, Mr. President. In my opinion, it is a constitutional plan. And I want to also thank you. Mr. President, authorized the expenditure of funds for public hearings all around this state. In my opinion, that was an important part of this process. You have, and those were in person and on the internet. You've made sure, we've all made sure. I think this is a really important thing. You know, sometimes the process is as important or perhaps more important than the end result, although it's a process to achieve an end result. But as I stand here on the floor right now, I can say we have never on this floor of the Senate discussed a plan that wasn't available already on the internet for every person in West Virginia who chose to look at what we were talking about to see. And I think that level of openness can only be achieved, was only achieved, as a result of your leadership, Mr. President, and your willingness to make that happen. And I'm very grateful for it. And, you know, this has been an agonizing, in some ways, process, a very interesting process. But, Mr. President, I think our end result is a good work product. It'd be good for the citizens of West Virginia, and I urge passage of the bill.
Question is on passage of the bills. Further discussion? If not, the question for the Senate is, shall the bill pass? All those in favor vote yea. Those opposed will vote nay. The clerk shall pass the machine. Has every member voted? Has every member voted? If so, the clerk close the machine, ascertain the results. On this question, 31 yeas, 2 nays, 1 absent and not voting. More than a majority of those present and voting having voted in the affirmative, I declare the bill passed. Senior Senator from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill be made effective from passage and request unanimous consent that the roll call used on passage of the bill be used to make it so effective.
Senior Senator from the 17th moves that the bill be made effective from passage and request unanimous consent that the roll call used on the passage of the bill be used to make it so effective. Is there objection? The chair hears none. On this question, 31 yeas, 2 nays, 1 absent and not voting. More than 2/3 of those elected to the Senate having voted in the affirmative, I declare the bill effective from passage. The clerk will communicate the actions of the Senate to the House. Senior Senator from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request unanimous consent that the comments by our redistricting chairman be placed in the appendix of the journal.
Is there objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Senator from Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent that the remarks from the gentleman from the 8th be placed in the journal.
Is there objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Senior Senator from the 17th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Subject to announcements, I move the Senate stand in recess until until 5 minutes after the rules meeting, and I have an announcement that there will be a rules meeting in 5 minutes in the Senate President's chamber.
Yes. Further announcements. Question is, Senate recess and go to a rules meeting. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes appear to have, the ayes do have it. Senate is in recess until 5 minutes following the rules meeting. That was a little sloppy.